Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel, Honest Aphrodite. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe because just please like me. So I'm here. I'm really excited to be talking about everything I ever talk about. I even have some nice wine here. Isn't this a pretty color? It's kind of cloudy as well. It is a bottle of cloudy wine, Gerard Bertrand, whatever, made with organic grapes, 2023, called Trouble XP. I got it at Whole Foods, whatever. It is kind of weird, I have to say, but it's kind of like a rosé-ish thing. I think it's like, Syrah and Grenache. So there you go, there you have it. But it is quite yummy and it's very dry. I like it. I really do like it. But it almost kind of tastes like orange juice, like watered down orange juice. So I'm like, well, what's the point really? And I don't drink to get buzzed. I don't know why. I just drink because I like the flavor. Either way, let's get into it. Okay, let me start out by saying that I don't know anything really about social media. I know what I like. I'm on Instagram. I'm obviously doing these YouTube videos for fun. I have TikTok on my phone, but it kind of scares me. I can't handle Facebook anymore, but I don't think anyone can really. And then anything else, I just can't. I can't even handle it. I'm an older millennial. I was born in 1985. And so I've kind of like gone through it all, but none of these are like native to me. It's not like I grew up on social media. I mean, I was literally like, I grew up like playing in my front yard, like in the dirt and just like hollering across the street to my friends, like, hey, you want to hang out? And they like literally physically IRL in real life come over and do that, you know? I don't think I had a cell phone until I was 18, going off to college because I needed one. At first I thought I didn't need one. I was like, I don't need that. This is stupid. This is so stupid. Cell phones are stupid. I don't need that. I'm going to have a home phone. And then I realized I really needed one. And so I got like an old Nokia, one of those adorable ones. Those kind of indestructible ones that Nokia realized they couldn't keep making. Otherwise they'd go out of business because no one ever needed a new phone after that. So I'm late to the game, like a lot of people my age, but it's not that I don't like social media. I think what has been crazy to me is just how much it has taken over our lives to the point where if someone isn't online or, if they don't have a social media, like if they're not somewhere like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, it's kind of like, are you weird? Are you a serial killer? Should I be worried? But that's so sad. It really is so sad to me that that's kind of where we're at. And so in the name of science and life experience, last year was 2024. By the way, it is the 2nd today. We're officially into 2025. So last year at this time, I was like, you know what? I am going to do an experiment and just like try to learn social media. I don't want to just sit here and consume it. Scrolling, it's amazing. I want to learn how to like actually do stuff on there because honestly, I was using Instagram because I started to like Instagram as like a scrapbook, like a glorified digital scrapbook or album. Like I would literally just, put up pictures of things I did, not even the thoughts that I had. Like I thought it was ridiculous when I'd see people like putting up notes about their feelings or political beliefs or whatever. I'm like, I just want to see a picture. Hello. So I would just post pictures of my life, my friends, doing important things. Like I wasn't just going to take a picture of myself on the street, going to work. So the concept of like doing a get ready with me video or like a vlog it was non-existent in my world. You just took pictures at special occasions or if something was beautiful and that's it. I put it on Instagram. Hashtag, what was the hashtag? I didn't know. I didn't care. So I never did anything on there with the idea of like reach or using it to gain followers or earn money. And I didn't go into it in 2024 with that idea either, but just kind of like, how does this work? Let me figure out, what does it mean to post versus put up a reel versus put up a story, and like, how do I use some of the kind of in-house editing tools that it has and whatnot. And so I kind of like fell down that rabbit hole, and got really into Instagram because it's addictive and it's fun and it's amazing. And I would just like follow people. And I realized like no one follows me. I think I have like 485 people on my Instagram. And I remember seeing everywhere people being like, okay, if you post a reel every day, like I'm talking like an influencer. If you post a reel every day, you will gain 1 million followers. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it didn't happen for me. But also, it wasn't what I was going for. So either way, I started by doing reels that were basically things that I liked to do. My background's in the theater, so I was like, you know what? I miss the theater. I don't have an outlet for this right now. I didn't want to join a community theater where I was. So, let me just do little fun skits on Instagram, like, and post them. Like little 90-minute things. Because I think that's the length of a short. I don't know, whatever. The point is I was doing that. I was doing that, and I kind of made it like artistic-y and did stuff that was based on like theater and Shakespeare and like put pretty little titles, and it was pretty much just a hobby, I think I gained like 50 followers in the course of like 6 months. And then I just like, no one was interested in what I was doing. And that was okay. I wasn't trying to monetize it. I clearly wasn't doing anything that was like making the algorithm happy or catching on or trending, whatever. And that's why I thought it was so ridiculous when people would make videos about like, this is what you need to do. I'm like, yeah, I did all of that. So it might just mean that my content is crap. I mean, it's absolutely possible, but I don't think it's that crappy. I mean, I think that what I did was kind of fun. Like, it was very theatrical. It was very clever. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of consumable, but maybe not for most people. But whatever. Who cares? The point is all of those advice videos just didn't work for me. And I was lazy because I really began to realize, like, people who start putting all of their energy into building a social media persona, I guess, what is that called? An influencer. This is way more than a full-time job. This is huge. You can put in so much money, so many hours to make a video or a image beautiful. You can do all your research to figure out like what sound is trending, what topic is trending, what colors, what filter. Okay, yeah, who do I need to connect to? Okay, let me post, and then let me talk to people who are responding to me, and let me go into other people's pages and get them to talk to me and get into like a conversation so the algorithm kind of knows who I am, and I'm kind of getting out there. That takes so much time. It takes so much effort. It's more work than I'm ever willing to do, unless I'm getting paid at my job, which that's what I have. I have a full-time job. I'm not going to spend my time doing that. So there's that. And then like, it's so unreliable. I mean, I know that you can make millions on social media platforms doing anything, but at the end of the day, they're so unreliable. I mean, like, let's take TikToks. In a few days, in a few weeks, it's going to be banned. So then what's going to happen? And then you might like not follow community guidelines for one reason or another, or certain topics are like not going to be popular because they're going to rub people the wrong way. There's certain words that you can't say, and then you'll just get shut down. And then what does that mean? Your business has basically been shut down. Like, what? It's the equivalent of like a tornado coming through your town and like destroying your brick and mortar business. I mean, how do you recover from that? You have all these followers, you have this name, and suddenly your account is closed. Like, no. I can't live like that. So I was like, no, this is just, I couldn't even imagine going down that road. Okay, so that was Instagram. Then we got TikTok. Oh my God, that app, honestly, it still terrifies me. You know why it terrifies me? I don't know. I mean, it's probably because I don't know how to work it, but I'm turning the volume down right now because when I open it, it goes immediately to it goes immediately to like a thing, a live. It goes to immediately to like someone talking at me about something. Oh, this is a teacher. Oh my God, please keep me away from that. Yeah, so this is a teacher, and like you just are completely inundated with like information. It's just overload. It's saturation the minute you open it up. And I'm like, oh, I love all the editing stuff that they have there. I think it's great. My friend and I tried our hand at kind of like creating a little ESL platform for students, but you know, neither of us had the energy to keep it going. We got a quite a good following on TikTok, but you know, it's easy to get a good following on TikTok. It's not hard at all. And the stuff that you see on there, I don't even know how to follow people. I don't know if the UX is just like crazy for me or if it's only built for like Gen Z, but I am overwhelmed the minute I see it. And it doesn't seem to be anything that I know or care about. It's just people selling stuff or just talking at you about crazy things, or like weird footage of stuff, or people just like enjoying playing with like filters and or telling you how to get rich off of TikTok. Like that's all the videos are, at least the ones that are coming across my screen. So I'm like, why would I be on here? Why would I spend my time just watching this stuff? But I do know it's addictive. I absolutely do. I also just feel like, you know, given who I am and like the way my mind works, I'm just kind of like, where's the homepage? Can I find the homepage? I feel like I don't know how to get to like one page where you can see stuff. It's just like image, image, image. I mean, that's obviously the technique. That's probably why it's so effective, but still, I just couldn't. It terrifies me. Okay, so TikTok, terrifying beast, but amazing technology, amazing editing tools, filters. Oh my God, so fun. You could play on that for hours. You could just completely lose yourself and get sucked into it, which is exactly the point, I believe. So it's like, I mean, I joke, but I love how this product that's from China is like, this is the thing that's going to infiltrate us. And like China has conquered the West. It has. And it was with TikTok. Done. Like end of story. That's it. Okay, so there was that. TikTok. Let's go back in time. Let's go back years and years and years to Facebook. So my first experience with Facebook was all the way back in 2005 when it first started. Like when it became a thing. When it was so old that you literally the only way you could get on it was through your college, university email address. You can get on it otherwise. I don't even remember when that changed, but I was one of the first ones. But I didn't like it. I hated it. I hated Facebook. I thought it was weird. I thought it was ugly. I was like, I'm fine with texting and like calling. You can just call me. Why wouldn't you just do that? So I didn't open an account or anything like that. I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to share my pictures with people either. So I was totally fine with that. And then I realized that there were all these parties happening that I wasn't finding out about. I wasn't being invited to. I'm like, okay, why aren't I hearing about this? Am I just like, have I lost my friendship group? Do I not know like what's going on? Is no one inviting me to stuff anymore? No. They were inviting me. Well, they thought they were inviting me. They had found like another Emma on Facebook, and they thought it was me. And so they kept sending like group chats, like Messenger, like the original Messenger, all of the information about parties, when, where, what to bring, yada, yada. And of course I wasn't getting any of those messages. So I was like extremely hurt. And then I found out that this is why I wasn't invited to parties. And I was even more hurt. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? I am your friend. You could just text me. Why would you ever go into this new technology without telling me? Hello? And they're like, Emma, sorry, like you have to get on Facebook or you're just going to keep missing out. Like this is it. And so in a way I'm like, okay, I'm really glad that they like forced me, like pushing and screaming, like digging my heels in into the 21st century, obviously. But I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I was like, why? I'm too busy. I'm too busy in my life. I don't want to deal with this. But just like, I want to know when there's a party. So how do I just have the like bare minimum so I can get invited to parties? So my friend set it up for me. Actually, a group of my friends set it up for me. They set it up. I didn't even know the password. I was just like, can you just make sure I have it and make sure I know how to like see message notifications, and then I'll be fine. So they did it. And I think they like posted some pictures for me so that I didn't look like I was just a complete loser, even though I absolutely was, at least in a technological standpoint. I was not a loser otherwise. At least I thought I was very cool. So I didn't even run my own account. I love how I was like so VIP and like such a celebrity at that time. Like I wouldn't deign to wear my, would deign? I wouldn't feign to run my own account. Like, why would I do that? I don't have time for that. So yeah, someone else ran it for me. But eventually I kind of grew up a bit and realized that obviously you don't want someone else running your account. Obviously you don't want to be sharing your passwords with the world. Like, Emma, hello, what were you thinking? But you have to remember, like, up until about 2005, I feel like there might have been 3 passwords in my life. Like 4 maybe, like one to get onto a computer, but I don't even think I had that lock. I didn't even have that. I had a password to get onto my phone, some unlock thing. I had a password for like my email, and then one other thing, probably for some stupid club that I was part of. But otherwise, like, no, passwords just weren't that important. Who was going to steal stuff? But then, of course, the world of cybersecurity, got bigger and bigger, and you realize you couldn't just like give everyone access to your account, so you didn't have to deal with it. So I decided to take ownership, change the name, change the password, and I think there was a period of time where I was kind of into posting pictures. But then, when was it? It was probably about 2013, 2014. I mean, I had broken up with my ex-husband. Divorced. That's what you do when you're married. I got divorced, and it was awful because I was just getting so much spam from him, so much awful hate mail. And so every time I opened Facebook, it was just something else from him. And so I just kind of kept distancing myself from it. And also around the time, I felt like all I was seeing were like people's opinions. All I was seeing were like big blocks of text with some designs maybe about like, this is what I believe, this is what I support, be a good Democrat, be a good Christian, be a good, be a good wife. I'm like, what? What is this? I was so turned off. It was so gross. And it was like the interface was just getting more and more clunky and confusing. And like, also, there must have been something going on with like the UI, like the user interface, like the back end stuff, because wouldn't load. Nothing would load. It would take ages and ages and ages. And by the time it would happen, I'd be like, no, I'm not even interested anymore. Not even interested. So I just kind of distanced myself from it. And I remember one distinct day, sorry, let me have another sip. One distinct day, going on Facebook with the goal of shutting it down. I'm like, I want to close my account. I'm done. I forgot my password, of course. Because you can't just shut it down. You've got to like remember and re-enter your password. I couldn't do that. So I was like kind of at a standstill there. Then I finally recovered my password, but then forgot about it. Then I went back a few weeks later. I was like, okay, gonna shut it down. would you know, it took so long for that page to load. I just was like, F it. I'm not even going to deal with this. I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist. And I mean, I think to some people, like for a while, I think I was still getting so many messages on there, and they probably just thought that I'd like dropped off the face of the earth. And I'm just like, who cares? I don't care. I can't with this anymore. Like, I will just continue with the friendships I have on Instagram or in real life, which is far more important to me. Okay, so let's get back to the narrative. Okay, so let's get back to the narrative. Um, Basically, back in 2024, I've experimented with Instagram, I've experimented with TikTok. I even like kind of dabbled in what was it? Snapchat, for a completely different reason. That's for another video. Not going to go into that now, but I'm just like I cannot with this world. That world is so dark and so deep and confusing. I'm just like, what? I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who this person is. They have this crazy avatar. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to share a picture and then it disappears? What? No, 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 no. So I want nothing to do with Snapchat. I've heard that WhatsApp is considered to be like a social media, because you can like put updates and like obviously change your profile picture, but do like kind of like stories on there. I'm like, I just use it to like text and call. It's a glorified phone for international calls and texts, but obviously I use it with everyone. And I mean, you have to remember, like for me, I mean, obviously there are more people than just myself born in 85, but like this is a novelty. WhatsApp is a novelty because, okay, so once again, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, Snapchat, blah, blah, blah. Still, Facebook is still floating out there. I can't even figure out how to close it. And then one day, because obviously I will continue to consume on Instagram because it's fun and it's beautiful, I'm scrolling. Like one day I'm just scrolling away, wasting my time as you do. And I'm like, wait a second. There's not a single person on this scroll that I know. Not a single account that is an actual friend or even acquaintance. Not even like a friend that I specifically made and they're just online. Like it's just nobody I know. It was like celebrity after like news agency, after like influencer, after like people trying to sell stuff. I mean, and then tons of people that you don't follow because they're just being thrown in your feed. And I'm like, this is insane. Like I don't know anybody here. And I guess like deep down, I really thought like, yes, social media is a place for entertainment now. It's pure entertainment. And it's good entertainment. Like that's why it's so addictive, because it's not just shitty entertainment. It's great, high quality too. Super talented people out there. But I'm like, wait, what about that original purpose that we had back in the dawn of Facebook, where you're really just trying to like find a way to connect with your friends and talk to them and chat to them and, be more connected. And I actually felt so much less connected to people than I had ever felt. So it was almost like there was this strange feeling of connectedness, this kind of fake connectedness, because you're seeing stuff all the time, but there's nothing deeper than that. Like you're seeing faces, but there's no connection. It's a little like, I don't know when the last time I saw a friend on Instagram. I don't remember the last time I actually wrote to a friend on Instagram. It was just there for me to consume information. And I think from that day, I was like, no, I need to get off of this for a while, because in real life, IRL, I was actually extremely isolated. I was super isolated. I was super lonely. I think most of my friends were long distance. So in a way you would think, okay, you're on Instagram, you're just staying in touch with your friends, but no, I wasn't really, because it just felt so weak. It was just such an like it there was no sense of like urgency to stay in touch with any of the people that you could message there, even though it was like obviously a platform built as well for communication because they have the messenger, you can even do video calls, like that's great. But it just didn't feel there was no traction to it. There was nothing that made me feel connected to anybody that I knew. So it was a real wake up call for me, because I'm like, this is, what am I even using this for? Like, great. If I want to keep using it for entertainment, fine. But like, it's certainly not a replacement for actual friends and relationships. Like the what we want to feel, because again, my opinion, what I want to feel, what I want to experience is something in person, and at the very least on a phone call, or video call. Obviously, those are great. But like it just, there's something vapid about just the chat. Like I want more. And it made me think back to like when I was a kid. Not to like glorify, oh, in the good old days. I'm getting to the age where I'm like, oh, when I was younger, oh, when I was young. It's like, no, Emma, ugh. So when I was a kid, like I said, we would play outside. You'd play in your house with stuff, like with toys, with dolls, I'd be drawing. Everything was like physical. And then your friends would come over and they would physically be there. And everything you do would be in person. Like, I just don't, yes, we always had computers, but nothing was mediated by a screen. And okay, I was probably very fortunate. I was very, very fortunate to, have a place where people could come over, to have a car, to have parents take me places, to live in a place where I could have lots of friends who also had parents that would let me come over. Like it, when you think about it, it is such a privilege to have experienced that, to have that. And I really did, I had it. And so it was all about like showing up at people's homes, knocking on their door, asking if they could come out to play. Okay, they can, they can't, it's fine. It's not a problem. You didn't have the constant pressure of being in contact either, which I feel like is another kind of, it's an attempt at like filling that void and replacing the feeling of loneliness that I think is so pervasive right now. So what we're trying to gain with social media, I think, is kind of a replication or a simulation of what we used to have. But, it doesn't exist in the same way, at least not in many places in the US. So it's very cute when I see like kids out, on the street, like playing on the block, like playing in the street. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, that still is out there because it feels so good and it's so great. And so, yeah, most of my friends are still, scattered around the world. The only way I can keep in contact with them is, email, WhatsApp, Instagram, Messenger, whatever. But like, it's not a replacement for the reality of being together and just being there and like touching each other and hugging and being in the same room and chatting. I mean, even like talking on a video call, which is like the next best thing, it's just not the same. It's more exhausting. It's taxing. It takes something out of you that like an in-person conversation really doesn't. So I guess like what I learned in this last year of social media experimentation is that what I really was looking for was like a way to stay in touch with people, I guess. But then obviously discovered that it's not anymore. it's a place to consume. It's a place to consume content. And that's not bad at all. It's just, that's what it is. But that what I really want is like people here, people around me. And if I could choose, if I could just like choose the perfect place, it would be no one had a phone, no one had a computer. Maybe you'd write letters. I still love writing letters. And you would just, go over to someone else's house because they, live down the street, obviously. You'd show up, you knock on their door, you'd hang out, have a coffee, have a drink, whatever, and then go back home, and then knowing full well that the next day you'd see them in person or something. And so nothing would be mediated by technology. We would just be there. We'd just be there. And I feel like I would be so much less exhausted. But yeah, I mean, as I'm saying it, I'm like, what am I talking about? Pleasantville? What am I talking, like, what utopian universe am I talking about? Like, it just doesn't exist. And, if it existed, it would probably have insane, negative aspects too. But yeah, that's what I want. I want to just be able to like show up at someone's house and sit down, talk to them, and then go home. And maybe someday I'll have that again. Maybe I'll have a neighborhood where I'll know my neighbors and they'll actually be my friends. And then I won't have to be online so much. And I won't be trying to replace human connection and interaction by scrolling online and filling my vision with like faces and other people's lives. So that's all I have to say about that. That was my experience with social media. It's not like I've deleted any of these accounts, obviously, but I do feel like it was a year of awakening. It was like a year of coming to terms with like, this is what it is. And I'm just not as interested in it anymore. From as an entertainment advice, I'm not as interested in any of these platforms anymore because what I really want isn't something that they can offer. So anyway, at that, I think I'll leave it there. For now, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.